deeper and deeper and deeper.
Give food to automation more than other testers.
Yeah, but still no, it's not a weakness. Yeah.
That was the fifth point of view.
Get benefits from that situation.
Yeah. New episode of TestguruTV is about to start. This guy here, his name is Jani, Tuna, Haikala, an ultimate champion of testing.
Hello. And here, next to me is Antti Niittyviita, a tireless testing advocate, a trainer, a public speaker, and an author.
And this is a weekly show about mental health in software because everybody's happier when software works.
Welcome to the show.
Wow, that was fluent. That's great. Yeah, awesome. You have to talk yourself into the state to be able to bring the energy to the cameras because no one is going to talk you into it unless you do it.
I think we are here to answer some questions.
We're here to answer questions. Yeah, we're here to answer questions.
So,
questions. Yeah.
Could I read out a question?
Let's do the question.
Let's do the question. Is it a weakness if the same person designs tests and executes them too?
Is it a weakness if same person designs and executes the tests? Wow. Well, there is a short answer that comes to my mind.
Me too.
No.
No, it's the first answer for me.
So I think that was the
I've
episode.
actually written
now you
it
can
down.
actually quit watching the video and just like start doing something else. Watch cat videos or something like that on YouTube.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we could cut it there and just edit
yeah,
there. Yeah,
we could.
But maybe there is more to the question if you think about it a bit further.
Maybe we can try to explain our point of view.
There's actually one question that the first reaction was for me also, no, it's not.
Yeah.
The next one was, would it be actually a weakness if the person executing the tests would be different than the one who designed the tests? It could be.
Could be, yeah.
It might also be that it's not, but it could be.
Wow, that's actually like a curveball.
Yeah, that's a bit of a sidetrack. Yeah.
That's a curveball for me. But you have those exceptional high quality questions about questions usually. That's why I like to work with you. But yeah, you just like reframe it in a reverse kind of a setting and ask, wow. But yeah, it could be a weakness, and at the same time it depends on what it means to define or design tests.
Yeah.
So,
but let's stay on the original question.
Yeah, and maybe we can actually we as a byproduct we will actually answer that question too.
Let's return to that once we've answered the original question first. Yeah, I mean for me, like we've already established, the first reaction is that no, it's not a weakness. And certainly when you're designing the tests, you can also run them yourself. Yeah. And you could actually do that for quite some time. However, rotation in any testing is beneficial. So at some point you would come to a point where you're usually struggling with getting new ideas. You sort of, even in those cases where you're using exploratory testing and, should I say advanced testing techniques like that, you're bound to come to a point where it's difficult to come up with new ideas, new paths in software, and every person does things a bit differently, asks a bit different questions, and that's definitely the rotation could be beneficial or is definitely beneficial.
And like this leads me to think about like if for example if there is like this Arctic huge like vast glacier covered in snow, and you're standing there looking at the snow covered glacier, and there is a path. There is a high temptation for you to take that path instead of trying to make your own. Because that just saves energy, and it's the same with testing. It's about using and investing and at the same time saving mental energy.
Yeah, that's a beautiful metaphor.
So I would say that testing is inherently a process where you always use the software, then you create some kind of a mental model, sometimes even a mind map or something, and then you come up with questions and ideas. What could I do or test next? And then you execute the test. So it's always a design and test.
And also during that process, you actually get deeper and deeper and deeper into, you know, you expand your understanding, and you get better ideas, I would say. More thorough tests.
That's true.
The longer it goes. But then obviously at some point it gets difficult, but also transferring that information to another person. Okay, you take it from here. It's not easy.
Here is a glacier and here are the paths that I've made. Walk them. So actually in terms of testing, it can be beneficial if you want to produce evidence that on these trails on the glacier, they're still clean and walkable. And I'm speeding here.
I'm okay here. So.
and a big part of the testing at the same time is to find out the new paths of where this could go wrong, where could be the pitfalls and stuff like that. So it's always the decision about what do we want as an outcome from the testing, and then decide if it's actually beneficial for the same person to design the tests and execute them. And then there is this another track that comes to my mind, because like we have this colleague Antti as well. His like nickname is Doctor, the Doctor. Not Doctor Who for you British guys, but Doctor. And he's like one of the biggest and boldest and most skillful people in test automation that I know. What he says is that always when he automates tests, it's during the actual discovery and before the scripting, he needs to use the software and needs to see what it's about, and there he walks through the glacier, and he said that's where I find the bugs. And then I script tests and let it run automatically, and they always work perfectly, but they usually find no bugs anymore. So basically, in that situation, there is the designer, there is the tester, and then there is the automation that executes them. And it's the same if it's a person. So that the same problem gets like faced every time.
Still no, it's not a weakness as an answer, right?
I would say it's it's not a weakness, and like I noticed there's a chaos in my mind because I gave a lot of different answers, and I try to like boil them down into like these 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 key points, and now I have a problem with boiling this down to 5 key or 3 key points. But it may come soon.
It might come, but just in the spirit of not making it easy, I might add a little bit to it.
Let's do that.
So then there's, because we've also been talking about the idea that different people do things differently and it's beneficial in terms of finding new bugs. You might want to, even though you have testing responsibles who are the testers who design and execute the tests. Whoever you are, for example, recruiting to the company, I think the first thing should be exploiting them in a way, putting them in front of the software, using the software, and just, you know, bringing up anything that bothers them about the software. Doesn't really need to be about, but you know, the first initial feelings and thoughts before that person has been working for the company for a longer time and the mind is getting, or you know, your sight is narrowed down. So you want to get benefit from that situation.
Basically, if you design tests for someone else, you in the process you condition and teach them to follow those paths that you have. And the most value is found side of the path. So that's a valuable
and that
point.
Actually is also a bit was already transferring to the other question. Would it be beneficial or a weakness if the person executing those tests is someone else.
Someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's a benefit if you want to teach someone something about software. For example, if you want to teach test automation to someone, then it may be beneficial that you say that write this line, push play button, and stuff like that, and see what happens. And then it's really beneficial for someone to follow the instructions. If you want to, for example, someone to teach something, it may be beneficial if you have, for example, like ISO standards or something like accessibility standards that you need to meet, and they tests always need to be like strictly documented and executed. So then it actually may be beneficial that someone who really knows the standard designs the tests, and they need to be like tested or executed like in masses. Then it may be beneficial to hire, like, for example, trainees or stuff like that to execute them. So in different situations, it actually may be a beneficial thing to do.
Yeah, true. And I've been in situations where I have been designing the tests, but not actually even running them myself at all. And there's been teams that been doing it for several products, and for which I wouldn't have the time to do even. And then it depends a lot on the environment that you're working in.
That's
the product you're working with. So that affects it a lot.
Yeah. So if I'm to try to boil this down,
let's try. Yeah.
And you can bring more if you can, but I would struggle now to boil it down to 3. Well, first of all, the answer is no.
Yeah.
Because
at least let me have a try at that. In my mind, the answer is no, it's not a weakness, because testing is about building that model, building that understanding of the software, and getting new ideas from there. Essentially, since it is a requiring thought process when you do thorough testing, so it's more beneficial than a weakness to execute the tests yourself. Yeah.
And then number 2 would be, yes, it's a weakness if your intention is to, for example, teach someone. Or if there is like something like you have to create, like the most important outcome of testing is, for example, evidence documentation or something like that. Then it may be a weakness. Not for sure, but it may be a weakness.
The third one in my mind is rotation and variation. So there is situations where there is very good reasons to have different people do the tests at different times, or at least every now and then. I mean not on a weekly basis, but every now and then. Changing the responsibilities so that you actually get those new ideas.
Well, that's awesome. And the fourth one is that if the same person is, if the same person like designing and executing tests, it is a way to work around the evolutionary tendency for human brain to try to find the lowest energy consuming ways to work through things, and that's when you always in designing and testing by the same person, you are more likely to create those new paths into the glacier.
So there's 4 points now.
That's 4 points. That's actually pretty good. And I'm like somehow obsessed in like these primal numbers. They need to be like 3 points, or 5 points, or 7 points. 4 is somehow unsatisfying. I'm not sure if you find it unsatisfying, but
so do you have a 5th one?
Yeah. I'm just trying to talk and think about the 5th one all at the same time. But let's go back to the original question. Is it the weakness? The original question was that, is it the weakness if the same person executes and designs tests? Exactly. Well, I would bring the 5th point here, the point of view of automation. So in like a lot of the cases in modern software development, there is like the designing part of the process is where you actually find bugs, and then the execution part is done by an automation framework or some kind of a tool. So no, it's of course it's not a weakness. It's just that designing tests has changed profoundly to give food to automation more than other testers.
True. Yeah.
That was the 5th point of view. Wow.
Nice.
That was a struggle, but I feel satisfied now because it's number 5.
Yeah. So we've finally come to the end.
Now you can ruin our feeling of satisfaction by bringing up a 6th one. and write it down in the comments. And if you have questions about the question, or if you have any more like new kinds of questions about testing quality or anything else in life, please don't hesitate to ask us in the comments field. And of course, gently hammer that like button. You know, like button and the like button. And of course, subscribe to the channel and share the video with someone who may benefit from it, because this will, for someone, change their perception of what testing is, and it will build a better world for everybody.
That's exactly what we want. We want visibility for testing and quality and mental health.
Yeah, we are here to serve. Yeah.
So maybe just
we're here to serve.
Yeah.
We're here to serve. And you can do the same by stealing ideas, quotes, one-liners, or anything else and sharing them as your own wherever your organization is, because like it could improve the world of software testing.
Very good. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, and see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.